Hello and a very warm welcome to this mid-innings show. India have scored a total of 287 for 6. So South Africa now need to chase down 288. This after Indian openers got off to a good start, both KL Rahul and Shikhar Dhawan. But just when they were looking comfortable in the middle, Shikhar Dhawan was dismissed and Virat Kohli followed soon after getting out for a duck. In fact, his 14th duck in the ODIs. Rishabh Pant and KL Rahul then steadied the ship for India with a 115-run stand. But once again, the South African bowling hit back with double strikes, with both KL Rahul and Rishabh Pant being sent back to the pavilion. Shardul Thakur then provided the late burst for India, and India making a score of 287 for 6. Can South Africa chase it? Is this a good target that India have set for South Africa? Nikhil Narayan's here with me. Nikhil, your first reactions, 287. Obviously, I think if you look back at the history here in Pal, if South Africa does it, they will change the history.
Absolutely, Maya. I think it's a decent total by India. It's the third highest total ever in South Africa against South Africa. After the start they got, Dhawan was looking very good. I thought India would have hoped for around 310, 320, especially after the Pant Rahul partnership. They put put a 100 partnership together. But South Africa, picked up a couple of wickets and got back into the match. But still, I think India would be comfortable defending this total on a slowish wicket with two world-class spinners, Maya.
That's right. Let's talk about then how India lost wickets in pair, Nikhil, just when they were looking good. And at one point you felt when KL Rahul and Rishabh Pant were batting, you felt that India would get to 300 quite easily. And if it weren't for Shardul Thakur and the way he batted towards the end, which we've seen him do in the last match as well, that India would be struggling to get to this total. But let's begin first with, how India lost the wickets. And I'm going to talk about Virat Kohli here, because we've seen this now happen with Virat Kohli in limited overs, him struggling against the spinners. It got out to Shamshi in the first match. And yet again today, just the way he got out to a duck. And I think he was shocked as well. And you could see that from his face, because he just didn't expect it, or there was a lapse in concentration, which has been happening in the recent times quite a lot with him. How do you explain the way Virat Kohli got out today?
Yeah, I mean, he's not in his zone, man. Virat Kohli doesn't get dismissed sweeping a left-arm wrist spinner. Virat Kohli doesn't get dismissed getting caught of a left-arm orthodox in the covers. It doesn't happen to Virat Kohli. But Virat Kohli has a problem against spin. In T20I cricket, the problem was of acceleration, Meha. You remember in the IPL for RCB as well as for India in the World T20 2021 in the UAE, he could not accelerate in the middle overs. He was getting bogged down. The problem in ODI cricket is a little different. He's getting dismissed by spinners. Lately, the last 4 dismissals have all been by spinners of different variety. Not only is he not scoring against spin, he's also getting dismissed by spin in ODI cricket. If you see his pace to spin dismissal ratio overall, it was 2.21 in his career. Now it has come down, which means spinners are dismissing him more since 220. In last 17 dismissals, 7 have been by spinners, 10 by pacers. So Virat Kohli is getting dismissed by spin. His strike rate against left-arm spin is only 77. Not good enough for a player of his class. So, Virat Kohli has a problem against spin and he needs to address it.
That's right. And we were talking about how when Virat Kohli, the chaser, comes into his own, India is more often than not won. And, India is missing that Virat Kohli, and today it wasn't to be. But let's also talk about KL Rahul and Rishabh Pant and their partnership. That steadied the ship, as I said earlier, because India had lost 2 quick wickets. And from there, just the way the two of them batted. Nikhil, first let's talk about Rishabh Pant. And I know that there were some eye-catching shots there. Yet again, he was sweeping beautifully, just playing the spinners as well. but then he got out. And the way he got out, I think this is something we'll be discussing every time Rishabh Pant plays. If it's not his wonderful innings, it'll be the way he got out. Today, though, I think it's his innings that can be called better, or that sort of helped India get to this total. Isn't that so? I mean, I can still say, yes, he got out to that shot, which he shouldn't have. But hey, he also got you 85 of 71 balls.
Yeah. Yes, Maya, we can't be critical of Pant today because see, if he was dismissed on a runner ball 30, then you criticize Pant for the shot he played. But 85 of 71, I mean, he just got the placement wrong. The ball was timed brilliantly. Unfortunate. I think Pant played a beautiful knock. It was a counter-attacking performance, much in the vein of Rassie van der Dussen in the first match. In fact, the partnership between Bavuma and Rassie van der Dussen was repeated by, Kohli, but not Kohli, sorry, Rahul and Pant today. Rahul, the captain, batted like an anchor, like Bavuma, and Rassie van der Dussen's role was taken up by Rishabh Pant. 100 partnership, he dominated it. He scored 73 in the 100 partnership. It was a brilliant counter-attacking knock by Rishabh Pant. He's making the number 4 position his own, much like Yuvraj Singh did for India in the 2000s. Still early days for Pant, but I can see some positive signs. In his last 4 ODI innings, there are 350s. In fact, there are 2 70s and an 80. 2 against England and now against South Africa at Pal today. Today, he registered his highest ODI score. He's striking at 110 to 115 per 100 balls. This guy has the ability to do what both Yuvraj Singh and MS Dhoni did for India. Play the role of the playmaker at 4 like Yuvraj and finish the match like MS Dhoni did for India. He has the potential. And I think his ODI career has taken a turn since he produced that magnificent, 89 unbeaten in the Gabba test earlier in 2021. So I think Rishabh Pant is a special talent. If he keeps his head, he has, all the shots and the batting, prowess to excel in ODI cricket.
Okay, you were talking about Rishabh Pant and the strike rate at which he was batting, and that gets me to KL Rahul. We spoke about this in the pre-match show as well, about KL Rahul, the opener, versus KL Rahul in the middle order, and how his strike rate goes down, and just somehow KL Rahul playing that anchor role hasn't worked well for India in the past. How would you look at today's performance, given that he scored 55 of 79 balls at an average, at a strike rate of 69? And why I'm saying this is that he played the anchor role, and that is great for the team. But then when he gets out, after having spent 2 hours in the middle, where does he leave his team?
See, that is a problem if you play the anchor role. When you can play the aggressor and score at a strike rate of 90 above easily. I won't be critical of him today because India lost those 2 wickets of Dhawan and Kohli, and then he was forced to play the anchor. But I did not again like the start, the way he began. The approach was again that Dhawan will attack and Rahul will play accumulator. I don't know why can't both attack. I mean, take calculated risks. Why does he have to bat at a strike rate of 70, 75 opening the innings? Why can't he take calculated risks, even though Dhawan is going great guns? It will only increase India's run rate and make the job of a weak middle order easier later in the innings. So today I won't be critical because India lost 2 wickets. But I personally am not happy with this approach of KL Rahul playing accumulator at the top of the innings.
And I just think that both Shreyas Iyer and Venkatesh Iyer are not doing much to cement their place in the side. Even with the way Shreyas Iyer got out and Venkatesh Iyer as well. I mean, I don't know. I think you would want, given that there are people who they can be replaced with. There is a Suryakumar Yadav waiting in the wings. We talked about how India needs an X factor, and he could provide that. Seeing all of that, I think they'd be extremely disappointed with their batting today.
Absolutely, especially in a wicket like this, there were no demons. It's a flat track. They had the platform, and Shreyas Iyer again gave it away. He's failed in 5 of his last 6 innings. He needs to make it count. This is international cricket. You won't get 20 opportunities. So, you need to sort of make it count when you get the chance. Venkatesh Iyer also, I mean, I hope he's bowling in this match because, there's a big gap between IPL and international cricket. And, Venkatesh Iyer can fit in as an all-rounder in place of Hardik Pandya, but he cannot play as a pure batsman. So I hope he's used as a bowler today because his batting, I mean, he's not making much of a difference with the bat as of now.
We talked about how Shardul Thakur has been an expensive bowler in ODIs. If you give me Shardul Thakur with the way he's been batting in the 2 matches, I don't mind him being expensive. Nikhil, he's the one who's actually, helping India get to decent totals.
Absolutely. I mean, hats off to him. I mean, he is the difference today between a score of 245 and the score we've got. So Shardul Thakur's, 40 invaluable, priceless, like gold for India. And I mean, not only, of course, he has the talent with the bat, but his temperament, his fight that I will not give my wicket away. I will take it to the death. I will bat with the likes of Ashwin. 2 partnerships today, first with Iyer, then with Ashwin. He dominated both. So hats off to Shardul Thakur, the batsman. He's a fighter and therefore he is in the 11.
A quick one then before we end this. Tabriz Shamshi and Keshav Maharaj, Aiden Markram as well. What did you make of their spinners? Were Indians being too respectful of them? Or were they really bowling well?
Shamsi went for above 6. Rishabh Pant took Shamsi to the cleaners today. But I think, again, we are showing too much respect to the part-time off-spin of Aiden Markram. He conceded, 4.5 runs per over? That is poor from India. Aiden Markram should at least go for 6 runner ball. So I think India should attack. They need to counter-attack Aiden Markram. They cannot let him concede 4.5 runs per over.
All right then, 288 is what South Africa required to win this series. And if India want to save this series, they need to win this match. Can Indian bowlers defend this target? Well, if you go by history, they have every reason to. Nikhil Narayan, thank you so much for joining us. That's it on this special. Goodbye. Thanks for watching.